an email sign-up form, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, so today I'm going to be working on an email sign-up form, and we're going to add it to a bunch of different websites, and I'll show you what that's going to look like right here. So yeah, so we got this design. So we're going to add this design to this page today. So yeah, that sounds good. So first of all, let's get this logo, I believe. Let's maybe get it from the source. So we'll go over here, right here. I don't think we need to export the background. And we have 378 by 378, and then we can export an SVG, I believe. We could do an image too. Like, not, I mean, SVG is an image, but we could make it a raster image. Let me think. Make logo icon. I guess it makes sense to just do an SVG. I mean, that's going to be pretty well supported. So let's just do an SVG. I'll export that to the downloads folder. Grab that. And, sorry, one second. Okay, sorry about that. So we got email pop-up, and oh man, I'm sorry. Hi, Flickr. I meant to cover the microphone. Really sorry about that. Okay, so we're gonna have images here. I guess when we make the plugin, we're not gonna have it there. But for now, we'll leave it there. And let's see, so we're going to be making, hey, one dev, welcome to the stream. Today we're making this modal pop-up, and we already have some of the modal designed, and it's an accessible modal, which is really cool. I've never built an accessible modal before. So we're going to go into the CSS main. So we've got email modal, start box sizing, border box. Let's do a little bit more of a reset here. So we're going to do margin 0 and padding 0. And that should, yeah, that should just clean that all up. And we have, I guess we have some padding on this, on the actual email modal, which kind of makes sense. Yep, all around the edge. We do want some space. I wonder why, oh, I bet the line height here is a little bit tall. So let's see. So we have modal content right here. So this modal content is going to be the entire content. Then we got the description and we got the title. So let's change this text to, first of all, to match what we already have in the modal. So we'll do this. So we can kind of, you know, have the text in there that's kind of the fully designed text. And then we're going to have a no value for this by default. But we will have a placeholder equal to email address. And I think we could actually put like your email or email at example.com. By the way, hi Flickr, how's it going? Did you read that article I sent you? And we have closed modal. What we're gonna want down here instead of closed modal is a is a submit button. So this is going to be sign up. Okay, that's fine. So we'll do sign up like that, and then we're going to have a close modal button that's in the corner that's going to be shaped like an X. So let's see. I guess we're going to put that inside of the content, and we can just put it at the top. So we'll have, I mean, we could put it at the bottom. I guess that makes more sense for screen readers. So we'll have that close modal at the end, and we'll save that. So now we should have the content. Now let's look at this top area. Okay, so I think we don't want the full 1.5, but we'll take it as it comes. So first things first, let's set the font. I guess we could use a system font stack. Although I think actually it should inherit from the main font, from the body font. So we're going to say email modal. So this is going to be the main email modal, and then we're going to have other styles here, which we're not going to include as part of the plugin. So body is going to be font family. Okay, that's cool. And we're going to look up system font stack. And I've been having some trouble with the system font stack only because I believe the system font stack is a little bit broken on my computer. I don't think it's a problem with the system font stack. I think it's just, oh, this isn't working. So if I go to body, font oh, two font families there. Okay. So, so this is bold. I'm sorry, I have something stuck in my throat or something. I'm going to mute myself, and then I'm going to cough. So okay, sorry about that. I don't know. VKN KP elbow, coughing into my elbow, but there's no one in this room, so I'm not spreading it to anyone. But yeah, no, I get your point. You should set up a hotkey for muting. That's just yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I probably should set up a hotkey for muting. Okay, so you can see here this title is not bold, even though it's supposed to be bold. And that's because for some reason my my font stack on my system, so this is this is a really nice font family to use. It's called the system font stack, and by default it's going to use your operating system's default font, which is really nice, right? Because it's what's in these tabs, it's what's up here, in this Mac menu, and it's a font called San Francisco. That's what Apple uses. So I believe if I do San Francisco, it'll be exactly the same, but it's not. Let's look at that. So I wonder why that is. So we'll do San Francisco font. It's possible, I guess, that you can't access it that way, maybe? Let's look at web font, I guess, on a web page. So yeah, I guess you have to use Apple system. There are other variations for a headline, but I should be able to get it to be bold. And I can't because I think it's broken on my local machine. So, I mean, it's just really unfortunate because every time I have a bold thing, I can't actually see it being bold, even though other people, I assume, can. Like if they went to this website. So it would be a really nice thing to get sorted out. Let me see. So maybe I search for like San Francisco font bold not working, maybe? So the correct font. Okay, so this isn't working here. Maybe okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to fix this. I guess I could try downloading this other link that they sent up here. Yosemite, San Francisco, I guess. Sure. I don't even, like, at this point, I don't even care. I can reinstall the other ones after this. So why not include a font from Google Fonts? That's a really good question. So it's a question I'm actually asking myself right now. And the reason I don't like doing it is because it takes an extra request to download a Google font. And it's usually a decent amount of like actual page load time goes into downloading that font, bringing it back, processing it. You know, on a slow mobile connection, it can end up taking, you know, an extra half a second, right? Where when you add that on to like another second and then another second over here, eventually it becomes too much, right? So you want to cut down as much as you can and get your site to load instantly, because for every like even half a second you add to the load time, you're losing potentially hundreds of visitors if you have enough traffic, of course, right? But like if you have hundreds of thousands of people coming to your site, you're losing hundreds of those people for every half a second you add on to the load time. So for something as simple as a font, I'd prefer to just use something that looks really nice, really smooth, that comes with the system itself, and the system font stack kind of solves that, right? It's a really, really beautiful, really nice font that you're going to be familiar with because it's your system font stack. It's beautifully designed, it's readable at small sizes. It's perfect. It's like the perfect font face, right? Or font family or whatever. And you get it for free, right? The user doesn't have to go out and download anything. So I try to use the system font stack whenever I can for whatever projects I can. But for some reason, in the past few months, I think it might have been with an update to my OS, the bold version of my system font stack stopped working. So that's, I don't know, if I could just solve that, everything would be perfect. But it's not working. So I'm going to check maybe one more place. And we'll see. So yeah, let me just search one more. So Mac system font bold not working. This is the last search I'm going to do about this. Okay, maybe here I found the solution. Your problem, solution. I don't think this is going to be it, but let's try it. So we'll do font smoothing, anti-alias. No, that did not work. I mean, it looks a little bit nicer, but anti-aliasing the font is not the problem. If you add font variant small caps. Okay, pixel present. Blah, blah, blah. Lighter, bold. Okay, Chrome. Okay. Well, it looks like I can't, maybe I can't solve this. So I'm not sure what to do. Well, it's not a problem loading them in via Google. It's just like half the world is on a really slow internet connection. You know, like your internet connection might be fast. I don't know. But like most people are accessing the internet through mobile phones on really like bad 3G signals. So what for you might take, you know, a few milliseconds to load, it might take someone else like 2 or 3 or even 10 seconds to load, right? So if you want if you love the promise of the internet, of being able to share something everywhere to everyone in the entire world, you know, you might want to think, not that you're not thinking about web performance, but I think it's super important to be aware of web performance in every single asset you're downloading. Because I think fonts can very easily get up to like a few hundreds of kilobytes, and that to me is just not worth it, you know? It's just not worth it. A few hundred kilobytes for a font. It seems I've pissed you off a little bit. I don't know. I think a few hundred kilobytes is too much for a font. I mean, I do use custom fonts on my projects. I really do. I don't think they're like a huge problem, but I think if you can not use them, I don't know. That's not a big deal. Oh, okay. Good. Good. So I don't know. I really want to solve this issue. This issue is going to drive me insane. Because like this is bold, but I can't see it being bold. What am I going to do with that? I don't know. I guess we could just use a Google font. After all I've just said, we just use a Google font. What do you think? Roboto sounds good. Okay, let's go with it. You know, this would be a good opportunity to actually see how heavy this is, right? Because maybe it's not that heavy. So I'll add bold italic, regular italic. These are just kind of like the basic ones that you would want, right? And then we're gonna embed these like this. And then we're gonna do this. Yeah. And we're gonna download it to see how big it is. So we'll open it up, we'll go into here, and we'll just do regular, where's my regular italic? Oh, okay, it's just gonna be called italic, and then bold and bold italic. So yeah, even just those four, it's like half a megabyte, right? 170 each. Yeah. And like if you think about it, your JavaScript on an ordinary page, like a pretty like lightweight web application, is going to be about as big as this, right? It's going to be about 170 kilobytes, maybe twice that. So if your web font is bigger than your JavaScript, like your entire application, it's like, huh. But I guess the nice thing is, so the way Google does this, I believe it's gonna, I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure it downloads it in the background. I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. And then it's gonna, so this display swap thing, this means that your normal font loads and then it swaps in the new font as soon as it's downloaded. So I don't think it's gonna super affect performance because everything else is gonna be downloading in the background too on like a separate thread. And it's only going to be downloaded in the background and then swapped in when it's done. And once you download this, you never have to download it again, right? So on every new page load, it's not like you're downloading this again. And whereas with like a JavaScript application, you might make an update to it, you're not really going to ever make an update to this font, right? It's mostly going to stay the same. So once you've downloaded it, you're all set. You just have to download it once. And it's going to download in the background. So it's not like a huge deal. It's not kind of as bad as I was saying. The swap experience, you know, isn't the best because you could be reading an article and then all of a sudden the new font gets swapped in, which I'm pretty sure that's what this means. So that could not be great. I really wish my my system font stack just worked. You know what? I could just... no, that's a bad idea. Hey, Commander Root, welcome to the stream. So how about we'll just do one more search. So I would like to get this working. And if not, well, maybe we'll just use Roboto for this example. Because this isn't even like a real project. This is like a plugin that we're making for other projects. So I don't even know why I'm goofing about this so much. But maybe there's a way to like reset San Francisco font on a Mac. How to get this back in? Which app? Launchpad, restore standard fonts. Okay, that sounds easy, right? Font book. Oh no. Restore standard fonts, that better not wipe out everything. Restore standard fonts. What? This isn't gonna like wipe out all of my existing fonts, right? Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Oh, remove any non-standard fonts. Oh geez, that sucks. Ay, ay, ay. You know what? I kind of feel like it's worth it. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's worth it. I'm gonna just do it. I don't even care. Okay. No problems. Wait, but it didn't remove. It says, and it said no problems were detected? Okay, so let's quit Chrome. Yeah, let's quit Chrome and open it back up and see if maybe that solved it. I mean, this is still not bold, right? You know, it would be the worst if this was like bold. Font, weight, 400. Yeah, it's not bold because there's no difference between the standard. So I did this thing. It didn't work. Let's go. It's weird that that didn't do what it said it was going to do either. It said it was going to wipe out all my fonts. I thought it would. Oh, maybe I installed a font over it or something, you know? I don't know. I feel bad spending all this time on this. This is supposed to be a fun stream. Okay. Okay, so let's use Roboto. So we'll grab Roboto, we'll add that to our index right up here. And for the font family, we'll paste in right like that. Okay, so now we should have Roboto and we have bold. Perfect. Okay, it's unfortunate, but whatever. That's what we gotta do for now. Okay, so let's go to the design. That looks pretty similar for the heading, but not exactly what we want. Let's get all of these classes and get them into our CSS. And we'll make some room at the bottom of the CSS file. Okay, so now we've got all these classes. And let's see, so we already have content. So we just, yeah, these are the ones we want. Okay. And we've got title. So title is going to be margin bottom. It may be like something like 0.5 rem. We'll see how that looks. That looks decent. Looks pretty close. And then our description is going to be font size 18px and line height. Well, I think first of all, I think I want the line height of the general modal to be 1.5. And this is a quick tip. So if you don't put an actual, what do you call it? Like unit here. So like if you don't put EM or pixels, then it's gonna actually, it does this really weird thing where it doesn't set an exact line height based on, you know, the font size of the element you're applying this to, and it does an adaptive line height based on the font size of every child element. So it's a much better approach, in my opinion, is just putting this without the units. Something I learned the other day, and yeah, it's really, really cool. So also I think I want to have a default font size for this. So I'll do font size 16 pixels. Just in case that's reset by like the parent. And then for the title, I also want an explicit font size. So maybe something like 24 pixels, even though it's already in H2. Oh, and we also want to set it to have a font weight as well. Okay, so that's great. Now my line height is kind of affecting this, so we're going to knock that down to 0.2. And I think actually 1.5 is too big, so we'll go down to 1.4. I actually prefer 1.4 in general. And we've got 18 pixels. Unfortunately, we didn't get our light font size here. We could add it pretty easily. Of course, it would be another thing to add. What is this? ital weight at 0. This is much harder to read, to parse. 0, 400, 0, 700, 1, 400. I have no idea what these numbers mean. Weight at 0. I don't know. We could add 300, but I think actually just adding just a lighter color here is going to make sense. So let's do color, we'll just do RGBA, since that's pretty widely supported in browsers now. And we'll just do 0.5. I guess that kind of looks the same. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so for the next section, we've got the input container. So this is going to be fun. We're going to have to reset this input. So we've got input container, but we don't actually have an input class. So let's make an input class, and we're going to attach that back here to the actual input. Class equals input. And we're going to do padding, and we'll do something, well, we'll just try to copy it exactly. So 7, 15, and 10. So maybe we'll do 8px, 15px, and 9px. Let's see what that looks like. And obviously we're going to have to change the font size in here too. I think, because I think it defaults to something a lot smaller. And by the way, this is another quick tip. You want to set a minimum of 16 pixel font size on all of your inputs, especially on mobile. Because if you focus an input on an iPhone, if the font size isn't 16 pixels, then mobile Safari will zoom in. And if it is already 16 pixels, then it won't zoom in. So if you don't want people to have to zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, you just want your interface to be kind of pretty smooth, then just make all of your inputs 16 pixels font size. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is inherit the font family. So, because I believe, I don't know, this looks kind of okay. It looks like it might match that, but I don't think it does. So we're just going to do font family inherit. Let's see if, yeah, it did change a bit. So I think it was set to some kind of default. Let's actually look at that. So if we look at input font, it doesn't have a default font family? I could have sworn that. Yeah, it looks... Okay, wait. Let's look at the @ symbol. Yeah, the @ symbol totally changes. So it does have a default. That's weird. But yeah, so we'll set that to be Roboto also. And we're going to also increase the width to 100%, or another option is just making this display block. I don't think there's a downside to making an input display block. Oh, but that's weird. Display block should expand to the full width of its parent, but I guess with inputs it doesn't. That's very weird. Okay, let's leave that, I guess, and we'll just do width equals 100%. Okay, and now let's create some kind of media object. So this is going to be at the top. And we need to bring in our image. And if anyone has any questions, of course, you are free to ask them. I'm sorry if I haven't been as responsive as I could. Okay, so we've got this top section, and we want this image to be here. So we want to wrap this in 2 different divs. So the second div is going to be class email modal, and we'll just say top content. And then the first one is going to be top, we could say media, we could say image container. Let's say media. I kind of like it. I don't know. It's not the best description, but it's pretty good. And we'll do image and then top image. And the source is going to be images and then equal to this. And great. So now we've popped in that image. Now we want to do top here. We're going to have top media, top image, and image and top content. Okay, and then top media, top content. So top content's gonna be the one that wraps all of them, I believe. Yeah. Okay, and so we're gonna do a display flex on that. That should put them. Oh no, I was wrong. Top. Oh no, top is gonna be the one. Okay, my bad. Okay, so we've got that, and now I don't know why this image is so big. I think it's just because that's its natural size. So let's make the image have a width of 100%. So that's going to be, or let's have it have a max width of 100%. And then let's decrease the media container to have a width of whatever this is, 75 px. Okay, and this isn't adapting for some reason. Top image. Oh, I give it a different name. Okay, great. So now it's adapting. And we have this top media container, and we want this to wrap around the image. Because I think, yeah, we want to give the image a border. And in order to give the image a border, we need the container around it to wrap it. So I guess what we could do instead of flexbox is have a float, because I know if we float it left, it will wrap right around the edges of it. The other option, I guess, is to assume it's a square and then just set the height of this to exactly 75 pixels as well. I don't really like that because I would prefer being able to have something that's not just a square in there. I don't know. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing, because then if you do upload a long rectangle, it's going to cut it off. I mean, it's not like it shouldn't be a square, right? It should be a square. But I would like something a little bit more adaptable. We could have an image wrapper, or we could actually just put the border directly on the image, to be honest. So we could just have this have a border. Itself, which isn't bad. But I think border box. I think we, oh, by the way, welcome to the stream, Fubra, welcome. So we're gonna maybe try box sizing, I don't know, maybe initial here, or I guess we'll just do content box, that's the only other option. So yeah, that will make it so the image shows, like the border isn't cutting off the image. So I think we might actually want to do that just for the image. So we'll do box sizing. This is not something I've really done a lot. Is like reset it to content box, because I prefer having the box sizing be border box all the time. But I think in this case it makes sense. Okay, so the other thing we want to do is maybe have a little bit lighter of a border here. So we're going to have solid and then this color. And refresh that. And we want the border radius to be maybe something like 5px. Oops. Okay, so that looks good, but I think the icon I imported is a little bit big, slash the actual image is a little bit too small. So I think this, maybe we knock this up to 120. No. Maybe just 100. That looks pretty good. That looks kind of similar to what I'm going for. But the icon we export needs to be a little bit smaller. So let's do this, and we'll grab this, and we'll knock this down to maybe around there. So let's try icon with padding. We'll export this. I'll try to export it straight into our email pop-up images. And it's a SVG, and we're just gonna say icon dash padding to try the other version. Okay, that looks a little bit closer to what we're looking for here, but I think it's still a tiny bit too big. So let's try knocking it down one more level, and we'll save it there. Okay. Great, that looks pretty good. So we're coming along here. We need a little bit of margin on this top media. So top media is going to have margin, we'll say 22px. I like that, exact. Margin right. Instead of using rem or something, I think for this we'll just use exactly that. And we have this sign up for updates thing. I think that could be actually a little bit smaller. So let's look at top title. Maybe go down to 21 pixels. That looks pretty good. I think it could even be 22 pixels. Okay. And I think that looks good. The next thing is the email sign up. So this top section also needs to have margin bottom of 1 rem. Let's see, maybe 2 rem? Yeah, do 2 rem here. That looks good, and now we're going to have some more margin at the bottom of this. Maybe another 2 rem at the bottom of the button container. Okay. And for some reason, the sign up button wants to be higher, which I don't know why the heck it wants to be higher. I think it's, maybe we wrap this all in something. Nope. Why the heck is the sign up button so high? Oh, because I put the margin bottom on the button container instead of on the input container. Okay, so we want this to be on the input container. Got it. Okay, so now to restyle our button. So we're going to need some kind of button reset. It's crazy how many times I have looked at this exact code and copied it and converted it to CSS. But we'll do email modal button, and we'll paste this in there. Okay. So that's fine. I don't know. No, what does normal do? Oh, okay. Font smoothing, appearance, and we also need something for Moz focus inner. Hey, Salvin, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. We're working on the thing we were working on last time, and I'm streaming for an extra day today, so that's exciting. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem at all. So we're just resetting our button right now. But yeah, how have you been? What's up with you? Yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Still got a little work to do on it, but yeah, it's looking good. Okay. So we spent like the first half an hour of the stream trying to debug my system font stack anyways, so you're not really that late. So we'll say like spacing and typography and modal. Okay, we'll push that out. You're finicking with merge request comment fixes here. That's always fun. How have I been doing? I have been doing pretty well. I have some blog posts coming out for Remake, which should like introduce people to what Remake is, what it can do, just like give an overview of it. Trying to like commission an illustrator to like make up some illustrations for the blog posts. I want them to be like really nice, really professional, and attract a lot of people's attention. So I'm trying to like really focus on the quality of them. So that's been kind of like my main preoccupation. Oh, I also built this thing, photoblog.remakeapps.com. So you can, I don't know why that happened, but let's try again, I guess. We'll do Harry at storylog.com. I hope this works. So it doesn't. Okay, there. So we got this photo blog application. You can add a new photo. Oh, I didn't deploy the new version, I guess. Here, let me. I spent so long this weekend. I should have live streamed it actually, just debugging Remake. And it was like a nightmare. How much I had to debug. Oh, you know what? It might also be. No, there it is. So here's the new style. So you can create a new photo, then you can choose an image, and you can go into, let's say we'll go into sample images, upload for our photo blog. It has this nice little upload thing, which we created earlier. Sometimes it goes backwards. That's a bug I need to fix. Sometimes it just like looks like it goes backwards a little bit. I don't know, I really gotta work on that. But then you got a photo, and then you can remove it if you want. You can add a new photo. And it's just like a really super simple example of what Remake can do. And the coolest part is that it's like very, very little code. Like I'll show you what the actual code is. So this is the app, and oh yeah, I want to rename, this is something I forgot to mention earlier to myself. So like fix, I'm going to change the name of the username template because it's where the index of the app is. So I think so it's like a pretty important template. So I think I'm going to call it appindex.hbs instead of username.hbs because it's the most likely place where like the core application is. So anyway, so right here we can see this username.hbs, soon to be renamed. This is the entire like working code for this photoblog web app, and yeah, really not that complicated. You set like a default title, you can edit that title, you can create a new photo that goes at the top of the list, you can upload a new photo and it's going to get loaded into the image, you can remove the photo, and yeah, and then it has like a custom input style for the file file upload input, this button here. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty simple, like a pretty simple photo blog, but it's in like 20 lines of HTML using Remake, which I'm pretty proud of. So that's what I was working on over the weekend. And I should actually probably post about that on Twitter or something. I don't like really keep my social accounts up to date that much. Okay, so we got this button thing. So sign up button. Now we can just style these like regular HTML elements. So we're gonna do color. I guess I could actually just get it from here. I wonder if that came back the same. Yeah, 5. Yeah, it came back exactly the same. Nice. So we'll do background color, this one. And I like doing padding with buttons instead of like exact widths and heights. Or exact widths and heights, I guess. So we'll do maybe 8 px at the top, 9 px at the bottom, and we'll try 22 px on the sides. So we'll do that. We want square borders. I think they're square. Oh no, it's a border radius of 1. Okay, I like that. It's a little bit adventurous. And we need a color of white. Okay, so we'll go here, refresh that, and it didn't work because this one has more specificity than this one. So I think I'll just add this ahead of everything, just to make sure that like our earlier styles never override our later styles. Because the earlier styles are more likely to be like resets and like global styles, and the later styles are more likely to be like more specific things. So we'll just, add a little bit more of a namespace there. Okay, great. So now we've got the sign up button. The one thing that I always forget in my button reset is the cursor. So we're going to do cursor pointer. There we go. And we also want this to be font size bold and maybe font weight bold and maybe font size 18 pixels. Let's try that. So we'll do font size 18 pixels, font weight bold. Okay. It's a little too bold. I'd kind of prefer like a little bit lighter of a bold. But I don't know. I know I have it on my system, so I could do, I think 600, and I think that would work. Did that work? So if I do font weight bold here, that did change it, right? It did not. Okay, so maybe we go down to 500. Yeah, that's not bold enough. I don't know, maybe I don't have Roboto installed on my system anymore. Maybe when I reset all my fonts from the font book, it did actually work. Let's see, Roboto. I don't have Roboto on my system. Well, we did download it, so we could just install it very easily. Okay, so now we should get something when we do font weight. Oh wait, no, we have 600. Okay, yeah. So we want to compare this to font weight bold. See if it's different. It's not. Okay, 500. It's the same thing. So I guess, I don't know. Maybe it didn't work. I guess if we're going to do font weight bold, maybe we can just do a little letter spacing, right, to kind of make up for it. So we can do letter spacing and maybe just like 0.5 px. Spread it out just a little bit. It's kind of okay. And maybe we'll just increase this to 10, this to 11, this to 23. No, that's a little bit too much. Let's go down, back down. Just by a pixel. Okay. That kind of seems okay. It is still a little big for me. I think actually maybe this is the main problem. Yeah. That kind of seems a little bit nicer to me. Okay, so now we need to center this. So we'll do text align, center. That looks good. And now our close modal. So we need to have position relative on our overall modal. And actually, not there. We need this to be on our content because that's the actual modal. Okay. So then we can do position absolute top maybe 12px and right 12px. We'll try that, see what it looks like. Okay, and now let's look up how to do an X close button shape. Oh, the Shah, welcome. How's it going? Welcome to the stream and welcome to Tuesday. It's a nice Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know. I got like enough sleep last night, but I feel a tiny bit out of it. Okay, so that looks like a decent close button. We've got rotate 45 degrees, rotate 90 degrees. And they're using background color and background color with width. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's 4:45. It's been Tuesday all day for me. Nice. This question is really getting to me. Should cats eat huge animals? I just gotta see. What? Are obligate carnivores, so they have to eat a minimum percentage of meat to survive. Huh. Wow. Meat is meat. Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's get back to this. Wait, what did... Oh yeah. Well, how is your Tuesday going, the Shah? Um, okay, so let's see. Let's with height width. So are these next to each other? No, these are inside of each other. You wish it was 4:45 p.m. so your day was almost done. Um, yeah. I don't wish that. I kind of enjoy um, streaming. I kind of wish it was earlier. I can't believe it's already almost noon. I gotta go soon. Probably go in like 20 minutes. I don't think I have anything immediately at work that I need to get to. Yeah, I think I'm good. Okay, so this one, z-index, I don't know why they use z-index. They don't even have position relative or position absolute on this. So it doesn't make sense. Um, hmm. I work at a company called careacademy.com. They do caregiver training for agencies. So if you're like a caregiving agency and you want to train your caregivers remotely, which is pretty important right now with all the COVID stuff going on, then you can come here, sign up, and you're off to the races. Your caregiver training will be taken care of for you, and we'll remind everyone when to take the training and deliver really high quality training. Yeah, I really enjoy it there. Thank you. Um, how about you? Where do you work? Um, okay, so for the close button, I think we're going to delete this close button. And I think we're gonna just try to style it with like a pseudo element. Yeah, I think we'll have a before and an after pseudo element. And we'll see what this looks like, right? If it doesn't look great, that's fine. So for the width and the height, I like making my like close buttons be pretty easy to click on. So I think 30px should work. We'll try it, see what happens. See what happens. You're self-employed at the moment, jack of all trades, design mostly, doing web design for small businesses, and at the moment, a startup accelerator has me doing 20 hours a week doing marketing. Oh, that's really cool. You used to work as an email developer for a huge online bike shop. Huh, that's very cool. So, are you like experienced in like you must be pretty experienced in like marketing, like not just design. If you've done email, yeah. No, I I've done email design. It it was something we thought was gonna take a few days and ended up taking the better part of a month and a half. Um, I was like, oh, email, yeah, we'll just make it simple, just like a simple like little table layout or whatever. We ended up like signing up with like two email testing services, like testing the design every time we made even the smallest change. It would like break in like some old version of Outlook, which is still for some reason used by 10% of the market, and we'd have to fix that. Um, oh, nice. Wow, that's amazing. 8 people for MIML is awesome though. MIML. Okay, cool. Oh, MJML. I think I've heard of a few projects. I think MJML was one of them. Yeah. This is like by a big company or something? Mailjet. I might have heard of this before, but this is awesome. I'm gonna look into this. But I don't really design that many emails. I guess I probably should. Oh, Mailgun is owned by Mailjet too. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So we've got a width and height on this. So it's about that big. That looks good to me for the size. So now we're going to make it visible. So we're going to do content. And we need to have position absolute. And how did this person... oh wait, there's this one. No, where is my tab? I don't know where my tab was for the close. I guess we'll just have to do it ourselves. Okay, so we'll do, I think, width 2px. How did I open up past tabs? Command-Shift-T opens up, Command-Shift-T will open up the last tab that you closed. And we'll do background, and then we'll, background color. And that's on Mac. On Windows, it's Control-Shift-T. We'll grab this color. It's very useful. I use it all the time. Okay, and then for the height, I guess we're going to do, for now, we'll just do 100%, right? Because why not? Yeah, we'll just do 100% for the height for now. We're going to cut it down in a second. So now we have this, but the weird thing is that, why is this so far down? Oh, because I didn't give it a top position or left position. Okay, so this is going to be top 0, left 0. And I don't know why I keep copying and pasting these things instead of just like writing in both places at once. Okay, so now, yeah, so now this is left aligned. So now this is going to be kind of fun. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to transform it, right? We have to rotate it. So first of all, what is the width of these? I think these are probably 4px widths. Let's try 4px first. Yeah, that looks better. It could even be 5px, you know? And let's select both of these so that we can just edit them both at the same time. Well, this is actually probably the point where we're not editing them, or we shouldn't be editing them both at the same time. But we'll do transform, and then rotate, and we just want to, what does rotate X, rotate Y? What does that mean? Rotate X, rotate Y. Wouldn't it just be rotate like the number of degrees, like around? What is rotate X, rotate Y? Okay, transform, rotate. I'm sure it's going to make sense to me in just 1 second. Oh, wait, is it because it's 3D? Let's see. Rotate. Rotate. Just give me the simple thing. What is this? Rotate 45 degrees equal to rotate Z 45 degrees. Ah, So it is because it's 3D, I guess. Okay, so we'll do rotate and 45 degrees. Okay, and the other one's going to be minus 45 degrees. Great, now we've got an X. Now we just need border radius. And maybe we could even just do 1px, but let's try 2px. Yeah, make it a little soft on the edges. Now, the rotation is coming from the center. So how do we center these in the middle of this button? How do we center them in the middle of the button? I think there's an easy way to do that, but probably even easier is to not have these be position absolute, but instead to just have the parent be display flex. I feel like I'm cheating every time I use display flex because I use it so often for everything. And I like CSS was not so easy before display flex. So we'll do justify content center and align items center. And that didn't work because, why didn't that work? Is it because they're pseudo elements? I bet it's because they're pseudo elements. Oh, poor pseudo elements. I think it's because they're pseudo elements. So let's make them not pseudo elements. So we'll say span class, and we'll say email close close. I don't know what is it. What is the parts of an X? Like I guess we'll just say line 1 and line 2. I'll do line 1 and line 2. Okay. And we'll replace these with line 1 and line 2. No, it wasn't because they were pseudo elements. What happened? Oh, wait. What does this we don't want content. Or wait. Yeah, well, we don't need content, but that shouldn't matter at all. What is happening here? Display position, top right. That shouldn't affect the display of the... Oh, well, these aren't display black now. So we should make them display black, or they're not going to do what we want them to, I think. They're not going to have... I guess that's not it either. Okay, let's remove this transform. Oh, the height and the... Okay, so it's not going to get a height if it's... I don't know. We'll just try. I think it won't get an adaptive height unless it's positioned absolute. Okay, so we're going to make it a height of 30px. Perfect. This is a great close button. I actually kind of like it. But it's a little weird. So I'm not sure what's happening here. I guess the absolute positioning kind of worked a little bit better with this. Oh, I think they just need to be... Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay, so their width and their height is not 30px anymore because they're rotated, right? So it's going to be less. And then the box is 30px by 30px. So right now they're like propped up against the edges, and then they're like trying to come together, but the top is obviously not going to be able to go in as much as it wants to. So yeah, of course, Flexbox was not the right solution to this, because Flexbox is meant for aligning items next to each other, right? But not on top of each other, which is what I'm doing now. So let's undo this, and let's go back to our earlier pseudo elements. Display flex was not the right way to do it. Okay, so we got a border radius, and we've got our regular close button. Okay, so cool. So now the problem is just that it's not centered. So I think we'll just look up like centering in CSS. We'll get the CSS tricks article and say both horizontally and vertically. It is this. So we can do, okay, top and then compensate with the margin. So top and left are 50%. And then we're going to have a margin on it. I don't know where to put content. So I'll do margin minus, and this is going to be 30px. From the top, thank you for following Elga Bernadine. Thank you. So that's going to be top, and then we're going to have 0, 0. And then left is also minus 30. We'll do this. So that didn't work at all. That didn't work at all. Oh, well, it should only be half. I don't know why I'm doing minus 30. Although I'm kind of concerned because I think this is still not going to work. Let's try it. Okay, so so this did work, even though it looks like it didn't, because the actually it might not have worked, even if it looks like it didn't. So let's stop rotating them, right? So let's just see what they look like without this. So they're not centered, even though it says they should be based on this. So this should be left. Let's take off the margin. How does this make sense? Top, left, 50%, 50%. Oh, it does make sense. So yeah, that is exactly right. And then I'm just putting it back. Minus 70. So if its width is 300. Why is this so complicated? I like really don't even want to deal with it. Why wouldn't I just always use this one? Right? Translate instead of margin. Let's try it. Translate, and we just do, oh, oops, it's transform. Oh, but we have another transform up there. We can stack them though, right? Can we can have more than one transform, of course. So we'll do translate minus 50%. comma, minus 50%. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so once again, doesn't look how we want it to, but I think there's still a good reason for this. So if we take off this rotate, they're centered. So that's good. What the heck? So why? I really thought this would work. So if they're centered now, maybe it's the transform origin? Maybe it's the transform origin. Let's try. So transform origin. I think it's center. Let's see if that is an invalid property or not. I don't know why these aren't lining up. Can you use, you can totally center things in CSS. That's funny. So 300 is going to be 50% height, padding. Why'd they have to make this so confusing? 300 left, 50% left, 170, because it's 320, what, 320, 160, 170, 150, 160. I don't know why this is 170. And I don't know why this is 70. Height, 50, 20. I guess, oh, the padding is going to be, yeah, of course, on the top and the bottom. So we want to subtract that in total. Okay. So I guess this one didn't work. And yeah, I think we should make these exact. So we'll just make those 30 px. And let's see where this gets us. So this is top and left 50%. I think there's a better way of centering. I think they used to have it on this page. Absolute center CSS. So there's this one. Let's try this one. So this is margin auto, top left, bottom right, and are all 0. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do 0 here, 0 here, bottom 0, right 0. And we're going to do margin. Where's margin? Margin I'll put after here, margin auto, and position absolute. Okay, so if we save that, we get this to be in the absolute center. Now, if we rotate them, everything's going to work, right? Bada bing! We got it. Okay, so it only took a little bit, but we got our close button. And I think we want to make it maybe a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit bigger. So let's do maybe like 34 pixels, and we'll do 34 pixels down here as well. Oh, you know what I could have done? Oh, well, it might not have been super worth it, but I could have just made an X like crossbars and then rotated the whole thing. But this way I get to do it with pseudo elements, so that's nice. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I kind of like that. It's like a very obvious close button. I actually might even just go down to 32. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I even like 33. I'm like going between these two. But yeah, I think that's fine. That's fine for close button, and it's centered, and it's like it's easy to click on. So it'll be easy to click on even on mobile. Okay, so we'll commit that to GitHub. So we're going to say we added our close button, we added our button styles. So I'll say button styles, all button styles, and this is for the sign up and close button. Okay, push that out. And I think we're almost done with styling this. There is the small issue of mobile, but let's just make sure this looks good in general. I think for the border, I do want a little bit darker than it currently is, the border of the input. Let's go up to input. I don't know, what do you guys think? I guess it's not really that important. This doesn't look bad. Let's just leave it. And then let's do a little border radius along the edges of this. So this is border radius 5px on the modal content, not top content, this one, border radius 5px. Okay, and I think the last thing, or one of the last things, is copy CSS and attribute. Okay, we want some box shadow, I believe. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that looks a little bit nice. Just a little box shadow. Maybe bump it down to 24. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Sign up for updates, get the latest news about Remix progress and features. We have that little box. We could even make that little box a little bit bigger, the image box. Where's my little image box? Width, I think we can go up to like, I don't know, 108 maybe? Yeah, that looks good. So what do you guys think? Does that look good for a modal? If this popped up, would you be like, yeah, I want to sign up right away? What do you think? I guess these borders could match each other. Like this one. And the image. It's a little too dark, actually. Is this, is this an open color? It is. Yeah, maybe we try just a little bit darker. Not super dark, just a little bit darker. Yeah, I like that. And I think maybe even adding this to the input too. Border, npx solid. Okay, that looks good. And let's just compare it to the original design really quick. I guess the input could be a little bit bigger. Maybe 9px, 10px here. Yeah, that's fine. And I guess the X in the corner could be a tiny bit closer in. So maybe 13px. 13px. It could even be 14px at the top. Or maybe 13 and 12. It could even be like that. No. I don't know. That's fine. I'm gonna like stop playing around with it because it's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, so that looks good, that looks good. Oh, we need a hover color for our sign up button. So let's go down to the sign up. Okay, so we just need a little bit darker of a color for this. We can try this. Do this, hover, background color, that one. We'll see what that looks like. Huh. I almost kind of feel like this is too dull now. I guess that's good. It's like, it'll do, right? Lemon juices, welcome to the stream. I'm about to head out, so I'm very sorry. Okay, so yeah, that feels pretty good. So let's commit this code. Say like tiny improvements. And let's get it to work real quick. So this should just take a second, I believe. So we have our JavaScript. We have open modal. We call that right away. We have close modal, which, does that work? Oh, it does. Okay, awesome. So we have open modal and close modal working. And it's not going to open right away now. And so we just need to add our exit intent library, which we don't currently have. Source. So we're going to go to github.com/me, and I'm going to look for the exit intent thing we made a couple weeks ago. Exit intent. And we're going to grab this. And then I should be able to call this inside of main.js. And we should be able to say open modal. And then we're going to actually not make this button work and actually get rid of the button from the page. Great. Let's refresh. Now I'm browsing around this site. I love it. You know, it's great, but there's nowhere to sign up that I see, so I'm about to leave. And nothing happens. Okay, so oh, I didn't actually call open modal. There we go. So, oh, focus of null. open, it goes to the triggering element. Okay, if there is one though. Open modal button element. Yeah, so we're just going to say if and boom. So now we've got an exit intent pop-up that we can add to various places, and it's only going to trigger once. So if you close it, it's not going to trigger again, but we still need to do a few things. So let's add like a to-do here. And let's see, so we've got we need to add an API. So add an API. And this is going to look like, what is this going to look like? I believe we already planned this out somewhere. I think I have it in my downloads folder. Rubber Slayer, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. So we have email signup specification. Okay, here we go. So we need to add this API. Actually, we could just copy all of this in here. I guess API isn't the right. Add initialization code and options. That's maybe a better way to describe it. We did this. We learned how to create a modal with Flexbox and accessible. Exit intent. Okay. So we got that. The other behavior is if the bottom bar is dismissed. Okay, if user has been on the page, have the full modal. If the exit intent has popped up once, don't trigger it again the same day. Okay. Bring in local storage database. For handling, I don't know what to call this. For handling dates, times for when modal can trigger. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I have to go to my regular job, but it was really, really nice to get to do this today because it's unusual that I do it on a Tuesday. But someone actually messaged me on Twitter today and was like, "I love your stream. I think you should do more." So that really encouraged me to stream today. I'm sorry it was so short, but I will be on at least Thursday and Friday. I might not be on tomorrow, but yeah, I will try to pop on for at least an hour or two on Thursdays and Fridays. No problem, Solvin. Yeah, I know weekends are kind of better for you. I might actually try to move maybe Friday to Saturday instead, because I think maybe more people can do that. But I don't know. I'll think about it. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to message me on Twitter or at david@remaketheweb.com. And well, definitely stand up for yourself. Yeah, that's yeah, code reviews are tough. But yeah, I will see you guys later, and thank you for stopping by. Okay. Bye, guys.